All right, NBA free agency kicked off this Friday evening at around 6 o'clock Eastern time, and a lot of names started flooding through the Twitter feed, guys signing contracts, a lot of big names staying put, a couple of surprise signings, and who could possibly be pushing themselves over the edge? There's a couple of guys who are moving teams that I absolutely love that could instantly put a team into a serious threat to the Nuggets defending their championship. A lot of stuff going on. Going to give you some quick instant reactions. Before we get into that, drop a quick like on this video. Hit that thumbs up. Really helps with that algorithm. Trying to push these bad boys out. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. New videos every single weekday. Let's get into it. The Woj bombs started flying in on this Friday evening right when this thing kicked off at 6 o'clock Eastern time. Tried to wait a little bit longer before I recorded this to get as much information as possible out there. But the first big name to fall was Draymond Green. He's heading back to Golden State, a 4-year, $100 million deal. Kind of a big number for Draymond, $25 million a year, but they're getting the band back together. The Warriors have really identified Steph Curry is a once-in-a-lifetime type player. They're going all in. Screw the future. Screw any sort of prospects of being good once this thing is over. Try and get one last championship. 5th ring would really, really make the difference for this dynastic run. It would really put them in the all-time great group. They're already a great run. It would be something else for 5. So Draymond back to the Warriors. That was pretty expected. Karis LeVert back to the Cavs. Nice move, 2-year, $32 million. Good role player guy. Solid there. Drew Eubanks. Does anybody really even know who Drew Eubanks is? On a 2-year deal, back to the Phoenix Suns. Kyle Kuzma, the big shocker, 4-year, $102 million to head back to the Washington Wizards. Like, are the Wizards good now? Like, they have a really kind of suitable team that could get out there and find themselves in the playoff game even after trading for Bradley Beal. I'm a big Kyle Kuzma guy. I think he gives you a lot. He's won a championship. Now he could be saying, I've won my ring. I want to get that money. I'm very surprised he didn't take $10 to $20 million less to head to a winner. Basketball is a lot more fun when you're winning a lot of games. I think Kuzma is a perfect number 3 guy, even a number 4 guy. He plays hard. He knows his role. He can get you buckets. He gives you defensive help, gives you length. I'm a big Kyle Kuzma guy as a role player. I'm very surprised. Don't be surprised if the Wizards do dive in all full force to a tank if they aren't where they expect themselves to be into this NBA season. This is a very tasty guy to go trade for. Now, the 4 years and $102 million contract is going to be a little bit of a deterrent, but I'm a huge Kyle Kuzma guy. I think this is a little bit of a surprising move, but Washington might actually be good. Kobe White back to the Bulls, 3 years, $40 million. That's a huge number. The Bulls are doing everything they can to not be awful, but they're never going to be good. They've guaranteed themselves a play-in spot for the next 7-10 years. Who knows? They're just going to be super, super mid, and it's kind of crazy. They were the best team in the 90s, obviously, and they've really just fallen into this, we're super mid, we're not going to go over the luxury tax, we're not going to risk it to get the biscuit, and it is what it is with Chicago. Sucks for you if you're a Bulls fan at this point, but you've had your fun if you're old enough. A couple other guys, you know, Damian Lee, whatever, 1-year deal. Taurean Prince to the Lakers on a 1-year, $44.5 million deal. Like that, he was a cap luxury cut from the Timberwolves. I think this is a nice add for the Lakers. I'm really liking what the Lakers did, but they didn't land their big target here. Bruce Brown heading to the Pacers, 2-year, $45 million. There was a whole bunch of talk that Bruce Brown was going to be heading to the Lakers. Even the Nuggets wanted to keep him. I thought he was really, really good with the Nuggets in this championship run. Obviously had some massive games for them. Really strong down the stretch. Finished out those games in the 4th quarter. Good veteran. He's a big guy with absolutely great handles. Played point guard in college. Kind of got maligned into this, you know, short, small 5 role in with the Brooklyn Nets. But I'm a big Bruce Brown fan. I don't know why he's going to the Pacers. I mean, Indiana doesn't seem close. I mean, I guess they got Tyrese Halliburton. They're trying to build around him, but the Pacers seem like they're butting up. But hey, man, get your bag. Your value's never going to be higher than it is right now on a championship team unless you go back and win another championship. But 2 years, $45 million gives them some flexibility, gets this man paid. Very surprising. This next contract, the Trailblazers going with Jeremy Grant, 5 years, $160 million. Good God, what an awful contract. I thought we were in the era now with the new luxury apron that we weren't going to see these stupid contracts for ridiculous amounts of money and length, but I guess we're not. I was totally wrong on that one. This is an absurd contract for the Portland Trailblazers to be handing out. I have no idea what they're doing. They got 17 guards. Nobody knows if they're going to trade Dame or not. They're kind of stuck in absolutely no man's land where they're not even good enough to get into the playing game in the West, but they won't cut the ties. You drafted Scoot Henderson, who I thought was the second best player in this draft. I'm a huge Scoot guy. Get rid of Damian Lillard. Get some 3, 4, 5 players. You have a million guards. Just do something, guys. Man, I hate what Portland's doing right now. Absolutely awful. Javon Carter heading back to the Bulls, like I talked about, going from Milwaukee to Chicago, 3-year, $20 million, not very high. But again, another guy, the Bulls are always going to be super, super mid. George Niang, my guy. Oh, big George Niang fan, leaving my Sixers, heading to the Cavaliers, 3-year, $26 million contract. I thought Niang hit some decent shots in the postseason. He wasn't as good as he was in the regular season. Really great bench guy, good role player, good locker room guy. Nice add to another Eastern Conference contender. I get it. I'm not sure what the Sixers are going to do moving forward after Harden opted into the contract but asked for a trade. It wasn't a big deal. Big one, Chris Middleton going back to Milwaukee, 3 years, $102 million. I was very confident when Middleton dumped that player option. I think it was for like 40+ million, his player option. Ends up going for 34 a year for 3 years. Gives you some long-term security, maybe lose some money that you could possibly get if you're healthy this year and then hitting free agency if he'd opted into that contract. I like this for Middleton. I think he would have been a better fit somewhere else. I mean, maybe Milwaukee goes and trades him to somebody like Portland to go get Damian Lillard. I think that's an interesting ad for them. He's an adult in the room, but this is a decent contract. I think they'll be able to move him if they want to. But again, they could just be wanting to bring him back, and that's what you do. Chris Middleton won a championship, was the number 2 player on a championship team, but there's been a lot of question marks with his injuries, with his ability to really step it up. He's an older guy. Jakob Poeltl, now the 10th highest paid center in basketball, I guess, heading to the Raptors. Cam Johnson, 4-year, $108 million deal. Stay in Brooklyn. That's a good ad for, I shouldn't say ad. That's a good keep for the Brooklyn Nets. You know, they got something interesting there. I'm a big fan of Mikal Bridges. I loved it when the Sixers drafted him and then really cried when they traded him on draft night. He really stepped up this year for Brooklyn. So Brooklyn's an interesting team. What's this? To Trey Jones to San Antonio, 2 years. The Spurs, they got money. They might be better than we think. Joe Ingles, the White Lightning, the YMCA player of the year, heading to the Orlando Magic, 2-year, $22 million. He's the most unathletic looking guy, but man, he gets you buckets from the outside. Interesting ad for the Magic. I think the Magic actually have a pretty decent team. I hated their draft. I shouldn't say hate's a strong word. I just didn't really love their draft for where they were picking. I thought they could have really added some. But Paolo Banchero's that guy, so it should be good. Another Sixer out, Shake Milton, heading to Minnesota, 2-year, $10 million contract. Another loss for the Sixers. Let's just refresh this, see if there's anything else we missed while recording. Woj not dropping anything yet. So really good stuff here from the open to free agency. A lot of big names going back to teams. A couple of good ads. Oh, I forgot. Woj, you didn't even tweet this. My guy. The biggest one, I almost forgot, Gabe Vincent. Gabe Vincent heading from the Miami Heat to the Los Angeles Lakers. That's a big, big ad. I think it was a 3-year, $100 million, or I shouldn't say, 3-year, $33 million deal, I think it was, for Gabe Vincent to LA. Look, they already got the jersey edit for him. I thought that was a great value deal. He showed he can show up in big spots in the playoffs, in the finals. Now, he had some awful games, but that's not his role. That's not going to be his role in LA. If the Lakers can retain Austin Reeves, bring back Rui Hachimura as well, I think this is a super dangerous team out of the West. I really would have liked them to add Bruce Brown. That was all the rumors this past week. But so far, really hot stove on the NBA free agency. You gotta love it, folks. A lot of great moves. We'll give one last free agency refresh, see if anybody's got anything out there. Reporting, oh, here we go. Herb Jones, 4-year deal to stay with the Pelicans. New Orleans, again, another team that has no idea what they're doing. They have an okay team. They're decent. What's Zion going on with? Oh, right, one last guy I almost totally forgot because Woj didn't tweet this one out. Get it together, Woj. Kyrie Irving back with the Mavericks. 3-year, $126 million deal. The Mavs had to retain him after what they gave up for him in season, but it felt like they were negotiating with themselves. They way overpaid for this. It's a player option in the 3rd year. I mean, come on, Dallas. Like, for real, guys, you're better than this. There were a bunch of other teams that were willing to pay like 2 years, $25 million to get Kyrie. I just don't understand this. I mean, I kind of do. Maybe we'll see a Kyrie Irving trade for James Harden. That's been speculated out there, which would be super fitting. Kyrie said, I'm going to talk to the Suns. I'm going to talk to the Sixers. There was no interest out there. Good luck, Dallas, with Kyrie Irving. I think he's a lot more pain in the ass than he is great basketball player these days. And it really doesn't help you out with Luka. Kyrie seems to rub a lot of guys the wrong way, but they do kind of love him. But just from a basketball standpoint, you play no defense, Dallas. But I get this move if you're the Mavericks. You got to try and keep somebody there. Get somebody to play with Luka. You have one of the 5 best players in basketball, and you're trying to win. It was an awful season last year. But yeah, really bold move by the Mavericks to give him this big of a deal. Some Maverick fans are okay with it. Some are super hyped. I'd be really kind of tepid on this. Has Kyrie lasted anywhere more than 3 years besides Cleveland? Absolutely not. It's been a train wreck. What makes you think Dallas is going to be different? Really, really strange. But anyway, really, really fun stuff. I love the free agency market. It's good to have, like, when you're not playing sports, it's kind of a slow time of the year. Baseball's about to hit that all-star break, and we'll start really getting into that and then back into football. But the NBA is doing a good job of kind of getting that extra window when the season ends with the draft and the NBA free agency, because honestly, the NBA's turned into a 2K league. Now, maybe it's slowing down a little bit, but a lot of stuff, moving parts going on. We'll be keeping track of this, reporting on that as well. But let me know what you guys think in the comments below. What was the best signing of the early free agency period? Did you like guys staying where they were, or would you have liked to seen a lot more movement to different teams, guys trading jerseys? It's a lot of fun, but let me know what you think is the best move. Is there anybody out there that can compete with the Denver Nuggets for the title next season? Let me know what you guys think again. Like this video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already, share this video with your friends, and I'll see you all tomorrow.